Hello and welcome. My name is Natalie from the Institutional Banking team in Australia, and thank you for joining me for this ANZ Transactive Global training webinar. Our training webinars are designed to help you unlock the full potential and get the most out of ANZ Transactive Global, our digital web and mobile banking channel. Through a single interface, you can access common services such as cash management, trade finance, loans, commercial cards, foreign exchange, and data insights. Today, I'll be taking you through the ANZ Transactive Global desktop site, demonstrating the features available for customers with an Australian-based site, including general navigation, the accounts menu, reporting, and approvals. Following today's session, I would encourage you to view our digital services help page for further information on the topics discussed, as well as revisiting our previous webinars, and I will show you how to find these at the end of today's session. You will see that the Teams chat function has been disabled. However, you can ask questions using the Q&A tab, which is located at the top of the screen, and my colleagues are online and will answer as many questions as possible as we go. Today's training session is being recorded. The video and a copy of the question and answers, including any questions we're unable to answer during the session, will be published in ANZ Digital Services Help in the coming days, so you can rewatch or share with colleagues who weren't able to join us live. And the last thing before we start, this session is being conducted using a training environment, which means some of the screens and system behaviour may appear different to what you see in your ANZ Transactive Global site. So please keep that in mind as you go. For anything outside of ANZ Transactive Global, we will be showing screens from ANZ Digital Services Help. So let's start by taking a look at ANZ Transactive Global. As you can see, ANZ Transactive Global, the main menu, is on the left-hand side here, and this shows a complete suite of all the options available. Your logon may show yet less, and that is due to the services and features your organisation has with ANZ and the functions and roles you have. This menu can be collapsed at any time by clicking on the icon at the top and then returned again by clicking it one more time. We will now take a look at the icons in the application banner across the top, starting with the little bell-shaped icon, which is our notification centre. By clicking on this, it will show a list of recent notifications and messages. To read a message, simply click View or click on the message to view it entirely. It also will show any reports that have been requested and available for download. You can also simply click on the report or click the download. Moving on to the next icon, which is our user settings and preferences. It is showing for me as demo, but for your logon, it will have your user ID. Here we can update our settings and preferences. So let's start by going through each of these submenus. Settings and preferences. Here, you can set time format and time zone and how you wish to view your numbers. And an important feature I always like to point out is the report retrieval code. This acts as a password to open encrypted reports that are sent to your email. Simply enter in up to 20 characters a password you would like to use to open the encrypted reports and click Save to save that. And being that this is your report retrieval code, it can be changed at any time, and click Save. Moving on to the notifications and alerts. Here you can set email notifications to be sent to you for various topics, including a transaction that is pending authorization if you're a payment approving person. You may also like to receive a notification if a beneficiary has had some changes made, as an extra precaution or feature to ensure that the right steps and protocols have been followed about ensuring the beneficiary details should have been changed. This will help reduce scams and keep your protocols in place. And there's a couple of other options there that are available as well. And please note that the alerts functions is currently not working. You can also set a landing page. So what this will do is every time you log in, the page you set will be available each time you log in. So let's navigate away from this page. Let's go to the accounts menu and say we would like this to be our landing page each time we log in. Simply click up there and set the landing page. So next time I log in, this will be what I see when I log in. And the last little feature in here is the last 3 logons. So here you can see the last 3 times that I have logged into this site. The next icon available is the help icon. And this opens up ANZ Digital Services Help in a new tab, as you can see. This is great if you require specific assistance in completing a task in ANZ Transactive Global. Clicking on this will open in a new tab, as I said. ANZ Digital Services Help is broken into 3 sections: the search section, popular topics, and our support categories. And we'll go through each in a little more detail. Search, you simply enter in a topic of interest. And the relevant articles will appear. We'll click on this one, and here it will give us step-by-step instructions of how to complete approving a payment, including screen snips and any tips along the way. And you will also note that all of our articles have this new geography tab at the top indicating which regions these articles are relevant for. So in this instance, it's for customers whose ANZ Transactive Global site is based in Australia, New Zealand, or China. We'll just navigate back to the help page and our popular topics. So here we can have a look at, these are the most commonly read articles by our customers. We'll start with the registering for a webinar. Here, a customer can view the current webinar sessions that are available to register. To register, simply click and it will take you through to the registration page to have that added to your calendar. We also have a list of our past webinar sessions by simply clicking here, where you can view a list of all our historical webinars. So for example, the mobile one may be of interest. Simply click and then the video will appear to watch, and along with all our question and answers from that session as well. And our video for today will also appear here in the next few days. The status page is another one that I'd like to highlight today for you. The status page provides an overview of our current systems in ANZ around their functionality using a traffic light system. So simply clicking on the hyperlink, this will open up the digital services status page and the traffic light system noted at the top. As you can see, they are all green today, so everything is working smoothly. But if there was a different colour here than green, you could click here to highlight which field or what areas within ANZ Transactive Global may be experiencing some difficulties. And then there is always an article as well indicating information with a potential resolve time. And the last segment here is our support category. So this is all of our categories that we have in ANZ Digital Services Help. So if there is something of interest here, you could simply click on the topic of interest, in this case, the mobile app, and go through and have a look at all the different features and functions or parts you wanted to have a look at, including frequently asked questions as well. We'll pop back into ANZ Transactive Global. We also have the Contact Us button. By clicking on this, you'll be provided with a list of contact numbers of how you can reach out to ANZ. Simply select the region you're calling from and then click on the global list. And once we get into this list of regions, click the region where you are located, which in your case would be the United States of America. And here, a list of contact numbers and email address will be available for some additional support. This is also another great tool that if you receive a call from someone claiming to be from ANZ, but you're not quite sure, you can hang up and dial back on these numbers, knowing that you will definitely be speaking to somebody from ANZ. And the last little feature across the top here, the log off icon. So always remember to log off after you've finished with a ANZ Transactive Global session. But do keep in mind you will automatically be logged off after 15 minutes of inactivity. So we will now have a look at the accounts menu, which we're already in. The accounts menu will show a list of all accounts that are associated with your Transactive Global site, and all of our menu pages are structured the same, with a control bar across the top and a grid-like view of the information below. So we will just navigate through each of these to start with. So for the view, you can select how you would like to view. You can view your accounts by all the active accounts or closed, and we can create a folder, of which I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. You can also use the control bar for some quick actions, being a report that you may wish to generate quickly. And there are a couple of other action items that you can do as well if you wanted to quickly view some different things. You can group your accounts. If you wanted to view your accounts by, say, the currency, you can group them by currency to make it a little easier to view or navigate. And you can filter. So if you, for example, know you have an account you're looking for that maybe ends in 0011, but you just can't see it quickly, you can do a filter to find that a little easier. You can also export the data in this page to a CSV. You can refresh and update balances at any time as well. And if you make any changes, you can click Save to save the changes that you have made. I'll now show you how to make a little folder. So navigate to the View and Create folder and give your folder a name and click Add. And you can add as many folders as you like. So now we have a folder. To add something to that folder, you can click on one or more accounts, and you can either right-click, move to, and move it to the folder, or you can use the Actions button to do the same. So now when you click on the folder, you will notice that those two accounts are both there. If you wish to remove an item from a folder, you can do the same, but in reverse. Click on the icon on the account, move to, or use the Actions button to do the same, and then that will be taken away from that folder. We will now have a look at the next submenu item. Here is the transaction search field. Here you can search for transactions by a number of search criteria. Let's search via a date range. You can also save your searches if it's a regular search you do, and any saved searches will be located up here, and simply click search, and then the transactions you are searching in that range will appear. Moving on to the reports submenu. Here you can create and schedule reports. The landing page will highlight any scheduled reports that are already set up, but to create a new report, simply click New. Select the report type you wish to run. So for example, the account statement report I'm going to set up today. Select the file format you wish to have this sent to you in. Select any other data that you may require. Select the data date, and I'm going to filter my data for an account, and I would like to filter that for this account here. If I wish to just run that report now as an ad hoc report, I can, but if I'd like to schedule this, I can simply click the blue schedule button. I would like to schedule this report daily, starting from tomorrow or today, and I would like to run that right through to the end of the year. It defaults to this time. I'm happy with receiving that report at that time, but if I wanted to change it, I can simply change it and choose a different time zone or different time. I will give this report a name. You can also give it a description and a prefix if required. And if you would like to have this report delivered by email, simply click on the little checkbox, and this will deliver the report to your registered email address. And that password we created earlier up here will be required to open that report retrieval. The report retrieval code will be required to open that report. I can also nominate to share this report with colleagues so that other colleagues with the same settings will also be able to view that report as well. And I can save that, and that will now appear here in my list of reports. We will now have a look at the payments menu. We'll just navigate in here through to the current payments, because I understand from time to time you may need to approve a payment. And to do that, the current payments menu will have a list of all payments sent for processing or are pending processing by ANZ. So to locate the payment that is requiring approval, if you can see it easily, you can just click on it. But if you need to locate it because there's too many in the instance we have here, you can do a couple of things. You can filter and filter by an amount or a payment ID to locate that amount. Or you can simply click payments for my approval, and then a list of payments that are pending approval will appear. And their status will be here as well. To now approve one of these payments, we can do that in a number of ways. We can right click and some options will appear here to approve, reject, or recall. We can tick the checkbox and simply click approve, reject up here, or we can click on the payment if you wanted to view a further detail and click approve or reject from here, or even delete if required. If you are the first approver of a payment, you won't require a token. You'll just use your ANZ Transactive Global password. If you are the second or the third, depending on if you are a dual or triple administration model, that final person will require a security device to approve that. And ANZ has two types of security devices. We have the ANZ digital key, and we also have the physical security token. You can have both of these, and for customers in the US, you may find it more convenient to have the ANZ digital key because it is an immediate setup rather than having to wait for a device to be mailed in the post. And I will show you shortly how we can add the ANZ digital key or the security token to a user's profile. You can also use the ANZ Transactive Global mobile app to approve payments, and the same user ID and password you log into ANZ Transactive Global, the desktop site, you can also use to access the mobile app. I just wanted to show you while we're in this payments menu, our payment tracking feature that we have. This allows you to track payments from the last 30 days, being an international payment, in Australia an RTGS payment, or a New Zealand payment called an RCS. Here it will give you a step-by-step flow of that payment and its status. So for example, this one is completed and you can see the steps it took to reach its destination. So with this one started at ANZ, went through DBS in Singapore, and then reached its final destination of the Bank of America. This also shows any deductions that may have been taken from each location. And if a report is required, you can download that by simply clicking here, and it provides the same detail. Excuse me. Alrighty. So I also just wanted to show you our service request function that we have as well. Service requests are a new menu that was added to ANZ Transactive Global last year, and this allows customers to make requests directly to ANZ rather than having to call or email or complete a form. This menu is broken up into 4 segments: payments and transactions, which as the name suggests are payment-related or transaction-related transactions. You can trace a transaction, maybe recall a payment, view some transaction details, or seek more information. I won't go through this one today, but I would like to show you how you order or add an ANZ digital key to an existing user, if this is something you may need to do. So click on the ANZ digital channels and click new, and this will create a new service request. We're going to amend an existing user, so click amend. Select the user we wish to amend. We want to amend William, and then scroll down. We can amend details here if required, such as email address or any of the fields with the asterisks. And then we'd like to add the ANZ digital key to William. If William already had the ANZ digital key but wanted a token, we can do the same steps. It would just look like this. If we need to make any other permission changes while we're here, we can certainly do that. In this case, we're just going to hit submit. Tick the checkbox after reading the information and submit. This will then be submitted for approval within your organisation as per other approvals, be it dual or triple. And once it's been approved by all the parties, it will be sent directly to ANZ without the need of a form, and somebody in ANZ will start working on that straight away. Any information or feedback upon the request, you will simply click here. You will receive a notification up here, but you click into the request, and then any comments or updates will be found down the bottom here as well for you. The last thing I wanted to show you today was the applications menu. The application menu provides you a list of other applications that you may have access to, and this will give access to these in a single sign-on. So you may have access to the trade portal. So if you did, you could click on here and click the trade portal, and it would open up the trade portal in a new window. It doesn't work in my demonstration site, but you can see what it could do. And there's a whole suite of things that are available via here, assuming you have access to them as well. So that brings us to the end of our ANZ Transactive Global refresher training or training webinar that we were hosting today. We've covered a lot in today's webinar, and as well as a recording will be posted as well as the Q&A in the coming days. You can get to ANZ Digital Services Help by scanning the QR code, which is currently on my screen, or by clicking on the help icon next time you are signed into ANZ Transactive Global. I hope this session has been of value, and we look forward to you attending our future ANZ Transactive Global training webinars. Thank you.